The New Bedford High Whalers home to the Attleboro Blue Bombardiers. I'm Keith Tebow. Bernie Picanisco is off on assignment for his real job. And sitting in tonight is Roger Robital. And Roger, the New Bedford High Whalers coming off two big wins against two previously undefeated teams. And that's going to give a club like this a lot of confidence.
Absolutely. I really think that this sets up as probably being one of the finest games of the early season.
Attleboro comes in at 3-1, and in speaking with Coach Wayne Hamlet before the game, he says that Attleboro really doesn't have a big stud guy. All the players on their team are solid players, and is going to give the Whalers some trouble tonight. New Bedford comes in at 2-2 after losing their first two games, beating Barnstable 2 weeks ago here, and then last week a big win at Central Catholic by a score of 22-19. The Attleboro Blue Bombardiers have won the toss and have elected to receive to start things off here in the football game, as Carl Beckman will get ready to kick things off. Tim Slowey, we'll hear a lot from him tonight. He is the featured running back for the Blue Bombardiers. He is back deep. Also back deep, number 33, Dan Furtado, and number 20, Seth Lopes. Whalers looking for their third straight win, while Attleboro coming off a win last week in their EAC matchup with Dartmouth, shutting out the Indians last week, 32-0.
I think this was one of the games that we could point to right at the start of the season, one of the 7 top 20 teams ranked by the Globe that New Bedford is playing this year.
Beckman hits a low kick, and it is taken by one of the upbacks. That is Owens. Owens comes right up the middle over the 30 to the 32-yard line, and that's where Attleboro will take over. 1st and 10. Let's take a look. Curtis Bulger making the stop for the New Bedford High Whalers. Attleboro's starting lineup at quarterback will be number 11, Nick McNamee. The running backs will be number 33, Dan Furtado, and number 34, Tim Slowey. Again, Slowey is the featured back. The wideouts are Matt Warchel, number 3, and number 44, Mark Owens. 1st and 10 for the Blue Bombardiers. Slowey now comes in motion. He gets the pitch. Goes to the far side, turns the corner, has a first down and more, and is finally knocked out of bounds near midfield. Clinton Dunston knocking him out of bounds.
Knocked out around the 48-yard line, I would say.
So the Blue Bombardiers get a first down after a big pickup all the way to the 48-yard line. That was a pickup of about 15 yards. As the referees call timeout, get the chain squared away.
Attleboro coming out very strong here. We'll be able to see here how well the defense for the Wheels have matured.
Rich Butler is in the ball game. He's to the far side. The lone setback is Mark Owens, number 44. Now coming in motion is Furtado. Owens gets the call up the middle of the fullback. He gets a couple yards up to the 50-yard line. Mark LaBeouf making the tackle.
Gain about 2 yards. Whalers snuffed that one out pretty quick.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 8 for the Bombardiers. Just underway here. We're playing 11-minute quarters in this non-conference matchup. Last year, these two teams met for the first time in a decade. Last time they met was 1989. And last year, the Whalers won by a score of 20-7. That was up in Attleboro. Warchall is split out to the near side left. Coming in motion now is Furtado on the handoff. There's a flag on the play. LaBeouf stops Slowey in the backfield. And we'll see what this flag is all about. And it's going to be, let's see, illegal procedure against Attleboro. And whether it was before, probably was after the play started.
Looks like the Whalers have declined the penalty.
They'd be smart to do so, as it would be 3rd down and long. And they have declined the penalty, so they will take the loss. The loss goes all the way back to the 46-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and about 11. Slowey comes in motion. McNamee goes back to pass. Fires it in and out of the hands, incomplete. Pass intended for Rich Butler. Boy, young McNamee's got a strong arm.
Sure does. He really fired that ball, and actually, Mr. Butler probably should have caught the ball. It was right there.
It was thrown a little bit behind him, but again, a pass he probably should have caught. So it's 4th down, and the Whalers will received the punt from the Bombardiers. Coach Wayne Hamlet last week also said that this Whaler team has been real good on defense the past few weeks and really picked it up a couple notches. Doing the kicking is Ryan Burlow, and Burlow hits it off the side of his foot and will go inside the 25, 23-yard line.
Right. Worked out to be a pretty good kick.
So the Whalers will get it 1st and 10 from their own 23, a 31-yard kick. And the Whalers are going to have it 1st and 10 from their own 23-yard line, just underway here from Walsh Field. No score. The Bedford and Attleboro. Backs are split in the backfield for the Whalers at quarterback Tom Koska. Clinton Dunston and Josh Gomes are the running backs. Gomes gets the call up the middle. He gets over the 25 to about the 27, 28-yard line. Pick up a 4 on the play.
It'll be interesting to see if the Whalers can establish the ground attack using the multiple backs that they have over the last few weeks.
What a difference it's been for the Whalers as well since Clinton Dunston came back. He rushed for over 200 yards 2 weeks ago, and then last week ran for 127 yards or so. And that's a big help with Dunston back in the lineup. 2nd and 6 for the Whalers. Silva goes in motion. Dunston gets the call, tries to force through a hole, can't do it. Gets to the 30-yard line. He's going to be about 3 yards short of a 1st down.
Looks to be about a 3rd and 3.
Ball is squarely on the 30-yard line.
Clinton has established himself as a very strong runner over the last couple of years and has really matured in the last few games.
Backs are now in the I formation. Walsh, the tight end, moves from the right-hand side to the left-hand side of the line. Costa looks to throw on 3rd down. Here comes the rush. He throws while he's hit, and it's incomplete. Mike Haynes applying the biggest amount of pressure on Costa, so it's going to be 4 and out for the Whalers.
A lot of good pressure that time from the Attleboro line, and Costa really had no place to throw the ball.
So Carl Beckman in the ball game to punt. Tim Slowey back deep for the Attleboro Bombardiers. And gets the kick off. Nice line drive kick. Slowey takes it on the line and is hit immediately, but gets away from Jeff Brito and is still on his feet. To the near side over the 50. And out of bounds in Whalers territory to about the 46-yard line.
That was about a 17-yard gain after he was dead to rights. He somehow managed to shake free of the tackle and had a very, very nice run back.
Going to be at the Whaler 47. Jeff Brito was there for the stop. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get his arms around Slowey's legs, and Slowey got away and picked up some good yardage. Up to the Whaler 47. 8:03 left to go. Again, Owens is the lone setback in this formation. And Slowey goes in motion. Ball's on the ground. And McNamee picks it up and actually picked up a couple of yards over the 45 to the 44-yard line.
Mr. McNamee was paying very good attention that time. Grabbed the ball right away and was able to fall on it and gain a couple of yards.
Well, he didn't want to do anything stupid. He just, made sure he got the handle on the ball.
Grabbed it and fell forward.
And that's about it. Still picked up 3 yards on the play.
Yep.
2nd and 7 coming up for the Blue Bombardiers. 7.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter of play from Walsh Field. Rich Butler split out to the near side. Again, they got the double wing set. Furtado comes in motion. Inside handoff to the big fullback. That's Owens. He's got a 1st down over the 35-yard line.
Looks like a gain of about 12 on that play.
Ball is down at the Whaler 33-yard line. 11-yard pickup on the play by Mike Owens.
You notice that Mr. Slowey has a very unusual motion where he actually brings the ball up before handing it off and then brings it down, brings it fairly high up into the air. Something very unusual.
Sort of like an option he has. He may go up, keep it himself, go up, pitch it to the man in motion. Now Slowey goes in motion. He gets a call on the inside. It's spun off one tackle, still on his feet. Now he's taken down near the 30-yard line. Only a 2-yard pickup for Slowey.
They snuffed that one out pretty well.
So the Whalers, Wayne Hamlin said the Whalers are going to have their hands full with this Attleboro team. Even though they're a Division III school, it'd be a big win for Attleboro if they could beat a team like New Bedford.
Absolutely. You know, Attleboro's got a real nice program this year, and this is a real test for both teams.
Slowey gets the pitch on the outside, has a first down, still on his feet, but went out of bounds, actually close to a first down. Looks like he's got it.
Looks like he's got it.
At the 21-yard line.
First down, they're moving the chains.
Good enough for another Attleboro first down.
Actually on the 22-yard line, 9-yard pickup.
It'll be first down and 10 for the Volunteers from the New Bedford 23-yard line.
So Attleboro moving the ball well.
On a beautiful night here at Walsh Field.
Yeah, for middle of October, can't ask for better weather.
We'll take about 5 more of these.
That's for sure. First and 10 Bombardiers. Furtado gets the pitch now, comes to this side, cuts it back inside, and finally tripped up over the 20 to the 18-yard line. Curtis Bulger making the stop for the Whalers. Nice 5-yard pickup on the play.
Second down and 5 for the Whalers, for the Bombardiers.
Inside the 20, the Whaler defense again is facing a big test here early.
Again, Butler is the lone wideout. 2 players on the wings are Furtado and Slowey. Slowey comes in motion. Hand off inside to the big fullback. That's Owens. And Owens has another first down. Inside the Whaler 15 to about the 11-yard line.
And number 61, Andy Garcia. Good enough for another.
Andy Garcia making the stop for the Whalers.
Attleboro first down.
Ball's on the 11-yard line.
In about 6.
It'll be first down and 10 for the Bombardiers from the New Bedford 11-yard line.
It'll be first and 10. The Bombardiers can actually score a touchdown, or actually get a first down, rather, before scoring a touchdown. Warchel is in the game. He's to the near side. Slowey in motion. Pitch goes back to Slowey. Gets some good blocking. Turns outside. Gets close to the 5-yard line before he's knocked out of bounds by Tim Walsh.
That's a gain up 6 yards. It'll be second down. And
Mr. Slowey already has approximately 30 yards of the game unofficially.
6-yard pickup there to the New Bedford 5-yard line. It'll be second down and 4. And Attleboro eating up a lot of the clock. 4.5 minutes to go here in our first quarter of play. Still no score. Butler now split out to the near side. Now they get a split backfield. Slowey gets the call. Goes inside the 5. It's going to be short of a first down at about the 3.
Yeah, approximately 3-yard gain that time for Slowey. The Bedford defense reacted fairly well and pretty much on the play pretty quickly.
And 2 yards.
Actually, they're going to say pickup of only a yard, so it's going to be third and 2 from just outside the 3. We'll call it the 4. Substitution coming in for Attleboro as Chris Levesque enters the ball game, and Attleboro wants a timeout.
Attleboro.
You were saying?
It's just a wonderful night for high school football. You know, with the band playing right now, we've got a pretty nice crowd here. And it's certainly nice to see perhaps a rekindled rivalry here with Attleboro, who I know when I was in high school was really one of the big rivals along with Durfee and Brockton at that time.
Were they playing with big boulders back then, though?
Yeah, that's what they were called, the Bombardiers.
Well, they're still called the Bombardiers. They're called the Blue Bombardiers. But last time, again, as we said, the last time these two teams met was a year ago, with the Whalers winning 20-7. But before that, they hadn't played since 1989, when they were both members of the Southeastern Massachusetts Conference, before New Bedford joined the Big Three. And back in '89, New Bedford won 36-6 that year as well. So the Whalers actually have a 2-game winning streak
I know that the Attleboro program over the years suffered greatly in terms of losing a number of good athletes to Bishop being their neighbor next door, and that certainly, you know, caused some problems in terms of some of the athletic endeavors. But it looks like they have once again being able to bring it back here.
The big third down play coming up for both teams. 3rd and 2. Full house backfield. Slowly to the outside and hit him, but he jumps. Did he get it? He did. Touchdown. Second effort by Tim Slowey, and Attleboro gets on the board first.
Great second effort by Tim Slowey, who once again continues to bounce off people and just eat up the yards.
So a 4-yard run by Slowey.
And it looks like they'll go for the 1-point conversion here.
9 plays, 47 yards. After getting good field position.
Number 35, Ryan Burlow.
Ryan Burlow, number 35, will come in to attempt the extra point. Again, Roger, Attleboro really they haven't thrown. They threw the ball once, but they really don't need to the way they've been running the ball. Burlow kick is up, and it is good.
It went about 30 yards in the air. I think that was one heck of a strong kick.
Referees are kind of slow on the call. So with 3 minutes and 35 seconds left here in our first quarter of play, the Attleboro Blue Bombardiers lead 7-0. And that was just a good drive by the Blue Bombardiers, Roger, where they went 9 plays and picked up good chunks each time, 5, 6 yards at a pop.
Absolutely. With Tim Slowey and Dan Picato, basically they were able pretty much to keep knocking off those 5, 6 yard chunks intermingled with a 2 and a 3 here and there, and they didn't face a tough third down situation, which is something that's going to have to change if the Whalers are going to be successful tonight.
Yep. And Coach Hamlet said his defense has played absolutely well the past couple of games. Especially after the Barnstable game 2 weeks ago, they had a lot of confidence going into last week's game against Central Catholic, a game which they won 22-19. And I'll be quite honest with you, Roger, when this season started with the 2 injuries, and after losing the way they did their first 2 games, I was looking at 0-4. So to be 2-2 with some winnable games coming up, the Whalers are in good shape again.
Absolutely. This is a very important game for them tonight, certainly with Dartmouth next week, before facing the Iron with St. John's, Bavarian, and Brockton.
What a kick by Burlow as Silva's dropped back to his 5-yard line, and he gets up to the 20-24-yard line. Jake Peterson making the stop for Attleboro. So the Whalers are going to get the ball again in their second possession. 1st and 10. Ball will be from their own 24-yard line. First time they had the ball, it was 3 and out.
3 and out and only 7 yards gained. They're going to have to do a whole lot better than that if they're going to stay in tonight's game.
They've got 2 players on the wing. In the slot to the far side is Dunstan. Gomes is the lone setback as Walsh goes in motion. Costa pitch back to Gomes. Gomes tries to cut it inside. He gets up over the 25 to the 26. Maybe about a yard, and that's it.
Your own 25-yard line. And on the tackle for Attleboro, number 77, Mike Rusis.
Mike Rusis, number 77, making the stop. So pickup of a long 1 on the play. We'll call it 2nd and 9 for the Whalers. Under 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter, from Walsh Field.
Early on, the Attleboro defense seems to be doing a pretty good job of snuffing out the New Bedford run. Certainly,
on the play called by New Bedford.
Mr. Koska here does not like what he sees, and so the Attleboro defense is doing some right things here.
Whalers call a timeout with 2:46 to go. Some of the other games this weekend, games that are being played as our game is being played. Old Rochester is at Bourne. Old Rochester again having a good season at 3-1. Fairhaven, the road trip from hell, I guess, continues as they are on the road again at Wareham tonight. That Wareham team has just been absolutely awesome this year. Apponequet is at Dighton Rehoboth. That should be a good game. Apponequet at 4-0. And Somerset is on the road at Durfee. The Durfee Hilltoppers 4-0 so far this year. So that'll be interesting to see if they can keep it up.
Certainly, the Durfee Hilltoppers are certainly one of the pleasant surprises of the season. And being a former Hilltopper yourself, I'm sure you're very proud of it.
I'm very proud. 2nd and 9 for the Whalers. Costco, one step, throws. It is caught by Dunson. He's got some running room. Gets away.
One man to beat.
50. And he's going to be dragged down by that one man. Seth Lopes all the way down to the 35, 40-yard line of the Attleboro Bombardiers.
First down, intends to New Bedford from the Attleboro 38-yard line.
It's going to be marked at the 39-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Whalers. Their first down of the ball game.
Clinton showed some of the speed that he really has after receiving the ball. He just took off, had the one man to beat. He managed to catch him from behind, and a nice game from you.
36-yard pass completion. Now Dunson is alone set back. He gets the call on the delay up the middle. Gets a couple of yards to about the 37-yard line. Jake Peterson again on the stop for Attleboro. 2-yard pickup. It's going to be 2nd down and 8 from the 37-yard line.
I've got a hunch John Seed's going to be doing a little bit more, mixing it up here, and perhaps a little more, taking a little bit more to the air to try and break up the Bombardier defensive strategy.
2nd and 8. Pitch goes to Dunson. Turns the corner, stiff arms Warchel, but Warchel makes a great tackle, and Dunson's actually going to take a loss.
For a loss of 1 yard on the play.
Loss of a yard.
So the ball is actually going to be marked back to the original line of scrimmage, so they're going to actually lose 2, where it's going to be 3rd and 10 for the Whalers, back to the 39-yard line.
Warcho was having no part of that stiff arm, and it wasn't going to deter him from...
Well, Dunson could have gotten away. He had some running room to the near side.
Yep.
Minute and a half to go here in the first quarter. Whalers have it, 3rd down and 10. Costa rolls, looks, throws, has a man complete.
Complete to Victor Cruz.
But he's going to be close to a first down. I think he's going to be short by about a yard as the ball is marked right at the 30-yard line. It's only a 9-yard gain. It's going to be 4th and 1.
Coach John C. on the sideline with Tom Kosker, I'm sure ready to send in the play. I'm sure the Whalers will be going for it.
Ball right at the 30. They need to get to the 39-yard line, so it's going to be 4th down and 1.
And the ball is sitting right on the 30-yard line.
They got Mark LaBeouf in the backfield as the fullback. And the whistle's blown before the play is called.
Timeout on the play.
Timeout called by Attleboro, as they were probably confused seeing Mark LaBeouf in the backfield. We haven't seen it this year.
No. Certainly pulling new things out of the hat here.
Well, you know, they want to try to get some big guys to blow the hole open. A la Refrigerator Perry, I guess.
That's exactly what I was thinking of. Is Mark LaBeouf, New Bedford's answer to the fridge.
So there's a timeout with timeout called by Attleboro. 29 seconds left to go here in the first quarter of play. And for a moment, I thought they almost threw a penalty. I thought it was a penalty on the Whalers, but it was timeout by Attleboro.
One of the pleasant surprises to me has been, despite the fact that the Whalers are 2-2, they continue to be ranked by the Globe at number 5 in the state.
Yep. The Whalers are number 5, Attleboro 15.
So obviously they're still getting the respect from the other coaches and writers around the state.
4th and about a yard. Right up the middle. Dunston has the first down. Inside the 30 to the 27-yard line.
Clinton revved it up a little bit and pretty much tore through the line for what was a pretty easy 3-yard gain.
And the funny thing, he didn't really need Mark LaBeouf, as LaBeouf actually faked like he was going to get the ball and actually peeled off the play, and Dunston just followed the blocking from the line and picked up the first down. 1st and 10, New Bedford. 12 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Ball at the 27-yard line. Koska
Costa rolling
on
out.
the delay. He's got some running room.
And he's
Past
got a
the
man
ball.
open.
He's got a man open. That is Gomes. And Gomes has the catch close to a first down as the quarter comes to an end. Let's see if they've got the first down. They do.
So at the end of one quarter,
So the Whalers get the first down. The ball will be at the 16-yard line as we see the play again, Roger. Actually, Koska, as you're going to see, he's got running room himself.
He faked out a good portion of the Attleboro line there and had all sorts of time to get rid of the ball. And very, very nice play.
So we have finished one quarter of play here from Walsh Field with the score. The Attleboro Bombardiers 7 and the New Bedford High Whalers nothing. Some of the other games being played this weekend, games on Saturday. The feature game on Saturday is a game that you'll be watching right after this one, as the Case Cardinals are at Voc Tech to take on the Bears. Bears getting their first win last week at Seekonk. Also other games in the area, Old Colony at Bristol Plymouth. Bishop Stang, they have a tough start. They're 0-3. They are at Coyle Cassidy, while the Dartmouth Indians at 1-3 will host the 1-3 Bishop Fee and Shamrock.
The interesting thing on that Fee and Dartmouth games, their two freshman teams played today, and they're both 4-0. So interesting how the varsities balance out, but with better things to come, hopefully, with the freshman teams.
As we begin the second quarter, first and 10 for the Whalers. The ball at their own at the Attleboro 16-yard line. Baxter split. Brito is in the game. Dunston gets the call and gets over the 15 to the 13-yard line.
brought down by number 57 for Attleboro, Colby Bassett.
Colby Bassett making the stop.
And the ball to be a 13-yard line.
Ball is at the 18-yard line, rather the 13-yard line, so a 3-yard pickup. Second and 7. Silva split out to the near side, Cruz the far side. Baxter split behind Costa at quarterback. Inside handoff on the misdirection. Dunston hits the hole and gets inside the 10. He's going to be short of a first down.
Again, probably about another 3-yard gain to around the 6 or 7.
Ball is actually marked at about the 8. So a 5-yard pickup.
My bifocals must be sliding down. Let me adjust them.
Third down. It's going to be 3rd and 2, we'll call it. Ball at the 8-yard line. They need to get close to the 6 for a first down. It's also tough to see. The lines are starting to fade as the season goes by, so you're allowed those mistakes. Walsh goes in motion. Pitch goes back to Dunston. He's got some blocking, cuts it inside. He's going to be close to a first down near the 6-yard line. Dan Furtado in on the stop.
Very close. They may be bringing out the chains on this.
Referee takes off his cap. They're going to stop the clock, and they're going to measure.
Going to bring the chains out for a measurement.
Well, even if I can't add up the yards, I can be prophetic every once in a while, so.
Well, just like Attleboro in the previous drive, the Whalers have eaten up a lot of the clock and have run off a lot of plays. Their next play coming up will be their 11th of this drive, starting from their own 24-yard line. And the Whalers have the first down.
First down.
So 2-yard pickup. First and 10 for the Whalers. The ball at the 6-yard line. Their 4th first down of the ball game. All 4 coming on this drive.
Clinton Dunston again continues to chew up the yardage. Grabbing it pretty much in 3s and 4s on the run here. Hasn't yet broken the big one.
Well, he doesn't need a big one here. Only needs 6 here. As Gomes now is the lone setback. Walsh comes in motion. Costa rolling to his left. Throws. In and out of the hands of Walsh. Incomplete, but there's a flag on the play. As Dan Furtado was wrapped up. And Walsh wrapped up. And that could be interference, and it is. So I believe in this situation it'll be half the distance to the goal. And it'll still be first down. First and goal.
Walsh was hit right in front of the referee, probably a good second before the ball got there. It was unfortunately for Attleboro, very obvious.
So the ball is on the 3-yard line.
First down from the Bedford, first and
So
goal.
it's first and goal from the 3. LaBeouf is in the ball game again at the fullback spot. Dunston is the tailback. Walsh comes in motion. Dunston gets the call and is hit right away. Mark Owen in the backfield for a loss.
The Whalers fooled nobody with that one. They saw Dunston coming, and that hole closed up before he could even find it.
So a loss of 2 on the play. It's going to be second and goal from the 5-yard line. 8.5 minutes to go in the first half.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Mr. Koska take to the air here on second down.
Let's see if that's the call. Backs are going to be split. Gomes and Dunston. Cruz to the near side. Silva to the far side. Koska hands off to Dunston. Tries to turn the corner. Gets away. Cuts it back. Touchdown.
When you've got Quentin Dunston running like that, you don't need to take to the air.
Don't need to pass the ball. 5-yard run by Dunston, and the Whalers are an extra point away from tying this game up. I see the replay here as Dunston turns the corner, gets by 1, gets by 2,
Breaks
and after
a couple
that,
tackles, and he's off to the races.
Beckman is in to attempt the extra point for the Whalers. Oop. Movement aplenty.
Absolutely.
And that'll be called against the Whalers. More than likely.
Make Mr. Beckman's job just a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, make it a little longer field goal attempt. Let's see. Oh, that's going to call offside against Attleboro, so it's going to make his job maybe a little easier.
Yeah. Either that or it gives the coaching staff here a chance to decide maybe they want to go for the 2.
Let's see. No, yeah, they're going to go for 2.
Yep.
Harry Lowe calls the kicking players back in, and they're going to bring in the offense. So they're going to try for 2 now and try to go for the lead.
With 8:01 left on the first half and being early, trailing 7-6, they've been running well and throughout this latter part of the first half. I'm not surprised the coaches decided to go for the 2.
Backs are in the I formation. Silva to the far side, Cruz to the near side. Costa looks to pass, throws, tipped, and it is knocked away, as I believe it was Owens who tipped the ball away. So the conversion is no good. And it is 7-6, Attleboro with the lead. So now if you're a person who likes to speculate, you probably look at that and maybe said, well, maybe they should have gone for the extra point.
Well, you know, that's why we like to speculate.
This is good about being an armchair quarterback.
Absolutely.
We can do that kind of thing.
Certainly that's one of the great pleasures that we all have on every Sunday afternoon.
That's why we're not paid the big bucks to coach.
You didn't happen to go with Green Bay in this week's pool, do we?
No, actually, with the pool I'm in, it doesn't include the Thursday night game. So, which is good because I probably would have picked Green Bay.
Yeah.
It would have been down 0-1 already.
Green Bay having some problems here.
Not that we endorse illegal gambling in any way.
No. These are fun pools.
These are fun pools. Yeah, there's no money involved. Whoever has the most picks wins, just for the heck of it.
Maybe you win lunch.
We'll say the lunch. Yeah, that's about it. So the Whalers will kick off again, and Beckman in for the kick. Again, Slowey is the deep back for Attleboro. Butler back there as well. Beckman, nice kick, line drive. And it's going to be taken by Furtado at the 10-yard line. He gets up to the 20, 25, 26, that's it.
Absolutely buried at the 25-yard line. Nice kick by Kyle Beckman once again. He's really put himself to be a, really outstanding kicker for the Whalers over the last few seasons.
Number 61,
Andy Garcia and Alex Sullivan in on the stop for the Whalers. So Attleboro will have a 1st and 10 from their own 26-yard line. Last time they had the ball, they went on a 9-play drive of their own. They had better field position. And Tim slowly ran it in from 4 yards out. See if the Whaler defense can do a better job this time around. Again, Owens is the lone setback. Lowy goes in motion. He gets the pitch, sweeps to the near side rather, finds a hole and gets over the 30 to the 32-yard line.
That's again about 7 for Mr. Slowey, who again manages to find the hole.
So it's a 6-yard pickup, 2nd down and 4 for Attleboro from their own 32-yard line. Clock is running, 7:23 to go in the first half of play. Next week, we're on the road again, but not a long road trip as we take the New Bedford Educational Access van to Dartmouth, as the Whalers next Saturday are at home, on the road rather, at Dartmouth High School. Inside hand up to Owens. He tries to pull his way up, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage. Tim Walsh making the stop for the Whalers. Also in there as well is Mark LaBeouf.
Bring up a 3rd down and 4.
Really no gain.
No
So
gain
3rd
there
and 4.
whatsoever, no. Certainly, I know you always look forward to those Dartmouth games. I know certainly that you and Bernie continually voted best
One of the
food. Best food.
Oh, you know what? I mean, may not be necessarily the best, but the greatest variety. You get pizza, clam cake. That's a great variety of food.
And get to see our good friend John Nunes.
John Nunes always treats us well at Dartmouth High School. McNamee throws. He's got a man open. It's Warchel. And Warchel has a 1st down over the 45 to the 46-yard line.
Number 3, Matt Warchel.
Nice pass.
Good enough for an Attleboro
That time from to Mr. Warchel, who was pretty wide open and managed to come down with the ball and gain some considerable yardage.
Only the second completion, or second pass rather, of the game. First completion for McNamee at Attleboro.
Attleboro now mixing up a little bit on their own.
Warchel is split out to the near side against Furtado and Slowey. Slowey in motion. Play action. McNamee has time. Boy, look at that arm. Overthrown. Warchel was wide open. What an arm by McNamee.
It's about a 45-yard pass in the air.
You don't see that too often in high school.
Definitely get it out.
2nd and 10 now coming up for Attleboro.
Fortunately for the Whalers, he
wasn't
a little too far. Yeah.
If he had picked up Warchel in stride, it would have been, no doubt, it would have been all the way for a touchdown. Second down and 10 coming up for Attleboro. Butler is now the wide out. Play action again. McNamee looks to throw, fires to the near side. He's got Butler complete, 1st down.
About the 35-yard line.
Inside Whaler territory at about the 37-yard line.
Good enough for another Attleboro 1st down. 1st down and 10.
So again, McNamee with a strong arm to the near side. And
in actuality, they had another receiver wide open in the center of the field.
here we go, we're going to see it again. And whips it out. And he makes the catch and goes out of bounds.
Nice catch by Mr. Butler.
1st and 10 for the Bombardiers. Furtado in motion. Owens gets the call right up the middle, and the big fullback has some running room. Cuts it to the outside. Has one man to beat. And Beckman, and he's knocked down finally by Clinton Dunstan, but not before getting another big 1st down.
By number 16.
Attleboro continues to impress, mixing up the run with the pass and doing it very successfully.
Attleboro has a senior-laden team. Owens, out of the skill players, is the only junior. Everyone else is pretty much a senior for Attleboro. And the ball is going to be at the 10-yard line. It will be 1st and goal for Attleboro. They already lead 7-6.
Attleboro's done a very nice job of mixing up their plays on this run and using the pass to offset the run and set things up.
Whaler defense needs to stiffen here. First and goal for the Bombardiers. Baxter in the I formation. McNamee looks to throw, floats it in the end zone, diving.
Caught it.
What a beautiful catch. Warchel for the touchdown. Flat out, beautiful catch.
Watchell made the catch, actually diving for it, an absolutely spectacular
We're going to see it again.
touchdown.
Matt Warchel on a beautiful catch. As McNamee laid it out a little bit too far, but what a great diving play. Warchel all alone. Watch this. Wham. Beautiful
Absolutely
catch.
spectacular.
Back to attempt the extra point for Attleboro, number 35, Ryan Burrow.
So Attleboro ups their lead to 13-6. Kick is up, and it is good. 4:33 to go here in the first half of play. And the Attleboro Bombardiers look very tough as they lead the Whalers 14-6. And again, Roger, that time, nothing fancy by Attleboro, doing more of what they did. They had a couple of big pass plays there and a couple of big runs, one by Owen. And they relatively had an easy time of it, going 7 plays and 74 yards.
They continue to mix up the plays very, very well that time. Had a couple of long pass plays that they didn't have at first drive when they pretty much stuck to the ground, and really gave the Whalers a hard time. As you said, the Whaler defense is really going to have to stiffen here if they're going to keep up with them. I think a lot of people may have had the idea that this Attleboro team may have been overrated, and if anything, they've shown that they're underrated. I mean, they've really played very, very well here in the first half.
Well, the Whalers, Coach Wayne Hamlet said one of his fears was the fact that the possibility of the Whalers letting down a little bit as they've cranked it up the past couple weeks against 2 undefeated teams, and they're playing a Division III team tonight. And there's always that possibility of a letdown.
Absolutely, you know, and again, this is a team that they have not played. It's not been a regular team on the schedule, and they're being a Division III team. You could have that problem, and I certainly hope that the Wheels are able to pick it up here.
Another big kick. Silva takes it on the 5, cuts it back to the near side, gets no blocking as he is tackled inside the 15-yard line, gets it up over to about the 17, and that's where the Whalers will get it. First and 10 from their own 17-yard line with 4:23 to go in the first half.
It'll be interesting to see if the Whalers come out perhaps throwing here. 4:23, probably want to eat up some clock, but they are going to have to mix it up, although they've had a very successful drive the last time. So let's see if they're able to continue that and get down and go to halftime with a close score.
First and 10 for the Whalers. Baxter split. Costa, couple of steps, throws in the flat to Victor Cruz, gets by one tackler, a couple, and gets close to the 25-yard line. 7-yard pickup.
Gain about 6 of Victor Cruz, who got slowed down by one tackler and then buried after that.
7-yard gain, 2nd and 3, under 4 minutes to go here in the first half of play from Walsh Field. Now the backs are in the I formation. Silva going in motion from left to right. The way handoff, Dunston right up the middle. He's got the first down to the 29-yard line.
Dunston taken down.
Clinton Dunston again with another one of those nice 4- or 5-yard runs, steadily gaining the ground. Certainly we wouldn't mind if he was able to do that on the next 3:31.
5-yard pickup, clock is running. Ball at the Whaler 29-yard line. Attleboro leading the ball game by a score of 14-6. Costco looks to pass, throwing deep in the direction of Cruz. It is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Nick McNamee. So he doesn't only throw the ball well, he catches it well on defense.
Nick McNamee doing it all here for the Attleboro Bombardiers. And Attleboro take over with 3:02 left in the first half. In pretty good field position.
So Attleboro, and here we see it again as McNamee, stride for stride, really had good position, comes down with the football.
Nice play by McNamee, and Victor Cruz really had no chance of catching the ball.
I think his only chance probably would have been to knock the ball down.
Right.
So McNamee wouldn't have hit it. So 1st and 10 for the Attleboro Blue Bombardiers. Ball at their own 39-yard line. 3:02 left in the first half. McNamee looks to throw. He's got time. He heaves it deep. He's got a man wide open, but it's incomplete. Pass intended for Matt Warchel. That time, the dive wasn't quite long enough.
Again, over 40 yards in the air. Definitely Mr. McNamee can hear the ball out.
And McNamee, 5'11", 170. So with an arm like that, he's got some potential to play probably, you know, some good Division III football. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the size for anything bigger than that, Division II or Division I. But
again, we're not that familiar with him because of there being, you know, a team that we haven't seen all that often, but he's impressive tonight.
Furtado goes in motion. McNamee looks to pass again. He's got time. He flings it deep again. Couple of men there incomplete. Both Slowey and Butler down in the area, but overthrown again.
Clinton Dunstan was also back there and tried to draw a beat on him, and again, he was just past everybody.
So Coach Cliff Sherman trying 2 pass plays in a row. Let's see what he calls on 3rd and 10. Ball at the 39-yard line. Slowey comes in motion. Play action. Throws. It is caught. Warchel has the first down. Late flag on the play as well, as the ball is at the Whaler 47-yard line. And I don't know if that's going to be face mask or an illegal hit. There's only a couple of Whalers there and Warchel, so usually in that situation, it's not a good call there.
We're kind of screened out there, but see what the referee has.
Face mask. 5-yard face mask. So tack that on to the end of the play. And the ball will be marched to the 42-yard line. So another first down for Attleboro.
2:40 left here in the second period. Plenty of time for Mr. McNamee to work his magic.
1st and 10 for Attleboro. The ball is just inside the New Bedford 42-yard line. Furtado goes in motion. McNamee looks to throw. Here comes the rush. Throws off balance and gets his pass completed to Warchel. He gets away and has another first down to the 30-yard line.
Mr. Warchel is one tough character. Not only defensively can he make you stop you in your tracks, but offensively breaking tackles.
So another first down for Attleboro. 2 minutes and 15 seconds in the first half, and if they can put one in here, Roger, that's going to put the Whalers really against the wall going into halftime.
Absolutely. Certainly they're going to face a long road back, fall down 2 touchdowns. Defense does have to really pull together here and hope to be able to make the stop off some type of turnover.
And with 2:02 in the first half, New Bedford calls a timeout. The Whalers, again, coming into this game, and we're going to see that play again, Roger, pass through Warchel, where his second effort again got him the first down. As, again, McNamee throwing across his body, and Warchel there. Right there, the tackle could have been made, and then we lost the replay.
Right.
Believe me, he made the first down.
Again, I mean, McNamee's showing all the arm strength in the world there, making that pass, getting it right to Warchel. Very, very impressive so far in this game.
Coach Cliff Sherman and his Attleboro Blue Bombardiers, you see there, giving some instruction to his players as Attleboro looks to get another score and up close and personal with Coach Wayne Hamlet.
Certainly, if New Bedford could stop them here with the fact that they will be receiving the ball at the start of the second half would be a big boost, okay, for the Whalers.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 when we resume for Attleboro. Ball at the 30-yard line.
And one thing I'd like to point out, in case anybody watching tonight's game is looking across the way and saying, gee, there's nobody here for Attleboro,
No.
because the bleachers are in the process of being totally dismantled. So all seating is on this side.
McNamee toward the end zone again, over the head of Warchel, incomplete.
Matt Warchel. Pass broken up by number 32, Jeff Brito.
Jeff Brito in the area.
He's 2nd down and 10 for Attleboro.
So all the Attleboro fans who are here are on this side of the stadium. And again, good crowd tonight.
Again, Nick McNamee just a little too strong with that pass.
I don't know if he's had a problem with throwing the ball in terms of throwing it too hard, or he just ate his Wheaties today. I don't know, but he's really got a good arm. 2nd down and 10. Again, Owens is the lone setback on the wings. The 2 running backs. McNamee looks to throw toward the end zone. Got a man picked off. Intercepted by the Whalers. And it's going to be by Carl Beckman, I believe. Yes, it was. Carl Beckman with the interception. But there is a flag on the play. Oh, boy. Is that a flag or is that a marker? Maybe just be a marker.
Like
it's a beanbag. The beanbag marker. So the Whalers may have it at the 1-yard line. Yeah, they're going to have it at the 1-yard line, I believe. But the Whalers do get the ball back.
Exceptional play by Carl Beckman. We'll be seeing it here on the replay.
He's back to the 1-yard line.
As Nick McNamee is back to pass, fires it down.
Beckman saw it all the way and made a nice catch.
Key play here for the Whalers, and they still have 1:50 left on the clock, so it's time to do a little work here.
Got a long way to go. 99 yards. 1st and 10 from their own 1-yard line. Walsh lines up to the near side. Costco hands off to Dunston. Dunston up the middle, finds a small home, gets some breathing room over the 5 to about the 7-yard line.
Brought down by number 67.
Gain of about 6, I'd say, on that play by Clinton, who continues to eat that middle yardage.
It'll be 2nd down and 4.
There's an Attleboro player down and injured. Ball is at the 6-yard line, so it's a 5-yard pickup. 2nd and 5 coming up. Can't quite see who that player is who is down. And
Where are Bernie's binoculars?
Let's go, Ben.
at home, where they always are. As the Attleboro trainers attending to the injured Bombardier. Problem with his right leg. I don't think it could be a cramp because they're doing the stretching that they normally do for a cramp. It looks like his calf is cramped up a little bit.
Sure does.
And on nights like this where it's not too cold and it's, you are susceptible to cramps.
As we all know, cramps like that are no fun. Even as old guys get those cramps once in a while.
Especially on the golf course. Oh, you know, it's so tough when you get those cramps, you know. That's my problem.
Especially after that 3rd shot in the woods, though.
Yeah, I just saw it. It was the cramp again, and 3rd ball out of bounds. And let's see, still don't have a number. It could be, it's actually McNamee coming out with the cramp, but he's walking off under his own power. He'll be okay. 1:41 to go. Pick up a 5 on that play. 2nd and 5 for the Whalers. Play will be whistled in, and the clock will start. Whalers is set up. Back in the I formation. Dunston to the far side, and he doesn't get enough for a 1st down.
by number
And
57.
Felix Torrado making the stop.
Gain of just 1 or 2 for Clinton, who snuffed out pretty early there.
Actually, at about the
3 yards on the play.
9-yard line.
For the Whalers.
So actually a 3-yard pickup.
10-yard line.
3rd down and 2 for the Whalers. Clock is running 1:05 to go here in the first half, and I guess the Whalers are not looking to stop the clock. They've got some timeouts left. I think they're just looking to try to get a big play here in the last minute. Going to the half at worst, down by 8. Costa, look, throws to the near side. He's got Cruz wide open, and he is knocked out of bounds at or near the 20-yard line.
Nice pass by Tom Koska to Victor Cruz, who did a nice job pulling the pass down, staying in bounds, and then stepping out to stop the clock.
45 seconds left, and the ball is right at the 20-yard line. An 11-yard pickup on that pass play. Whalers come back. They've got the backs in the I formation. Cruz to the far side. Koska, play action. Look, he's looking to throw deep, and it's going to be overthrown, incomplete.
There's a flag on the play.
And there is a flag on the play.
That could be offensive pass interference.
Back at the 36-yard line.
John Costa was back for Attleboro on a play, and it looked like he could have been interfered with.
It's going to be interference against Attleboro. So the Whalers catch a break. And the ball will be spotted at the 35-yard line. So after the penalty, the Whalers get a break at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10. 39 seconds left in the first half. Koska. Here comes the rush. Throws it as he's hit, and it is in and out of the hands of Clinton Dunston. Incomplete.
Clinton Dunston was open on the sidelines. Pass was above him, stretched, and unfortunately could not pull it down.
Koska zipped that ball pretty well.
Yeah, very nice pass.
Putting pressure on.
Again, still 32 seconds left here in the half.
Whalers have not been able to get a big play yet, a real big play where they pick up some big yardage. The time that they scored, they picked up 14 yards on a play and 10 yards on the play. That was really about it. Not really any big yardage yet for the Whalers. And Clinton Dunston pretty much been held in check. 2nd down and 10. Dunston on the draw, cuts to the outside, cuts back inside, gets only a couple of yards as Mark Owens makes the stop.
Brought down by number 3, Matt Warsaw.
20 seconds left. The clock is running.
2nd down and 8.
So the Whalers, they're going to call timeout. No, they're just going to call play in. And what are they going to do here?
I think they're going to be content to let the first half run out.
Yeah, they're going to let the first half run out. They're not going to get it in time. They look to get the huddle together, and there was a lot of confusion there. And that is the end of the first half of play here from Walsh Field. With the score, the Attleboro Bombardiers 14 and the Bedford High Whalers 6. We'll take a break and have our second half coming up in just a moment.
Statistics show that the average person over a lifetime has 75,000 dreams. Ooh, 3.8 surprise parties, 8.6 different jobs, 39.7 teachers, 12 different hairstyles, plays 6.4 sports, and owns 3.5 pets. But the average person only has one life, so why mess it up with drugs? A message from a drug-free Indian Marine Corps.
Welcome back to Walsh Field. Keith Tebow and Roger Robitaille, who's sitting in for Bernie Picanisco tonight. And at the half, the Attleboro Blue Bombardiers lead the Whalers 14-6. In the first half, Roger, where both teams had a couple of good drives, but nothing really outstanding for either team.
Nothing really outstanding other than some real nifty passing by Nick McNamee and some good rushing on the part of both Tim Slowey and Clinton Dunston, but neither one of them broke that real long run that particularly we've come to see from Dunston.
After both teams went 4 and out, the Attleboro Bombardiers had the ball. The Whaler 47 went 9 plays and 47 yards total. Tim Slowey on a 4-yard run. The extra point was good to make it 7-0 Attleboro. Then the Whalers took the ensuing kickoff on their own 24-yard line, then went all the way down the field on 13 plays, a total of 76 yards. Clinton Dunston 5-yard run. After a penalty, the Whalers tried for a 2-point conversion and failed, and it was 7-6 Attleboro. Then Attleboro on their next possession went 74 yards on 7 plays, with Matt Warchel making a great diving touchdown catch from 10 yards out. The extra point was good, and Attleboro leads 14-6. The Whalers will get the ball to begin the second half.
In the first half, Clinton Dunston only had 42 yards, so we're going to look for Clinton to break out here in the second half. And
Silva takes it at the 5. Comes up the middle, is hit, and is dragged down near the 20-yard line. So the Whalers will get the ball, 1st and 10, from their own 20-yard line.
As I mentioned, Clinton Dunston did have 13 rushes for 42 yards in the first half, and Tom Costco was 5 for 7 for 75 yards.
You know, we talk about how it's a pretty nice night, even though the wind is picking up a little bit, makes it a little cooler. A cameraman to our left here found the heat, and I can actually feel the heat. Usually we can't feel the heat this far, but I can actually feel it on my legs.
I'm glad you can.
Not that I need to, but he needs to. 1st and 10 for the Whalers. Ball at their own 20-yard line as they start things off here in the second half. Baxter in the I formation. Dunston is the tailback. Pitch goes back to Clinton. He tries to cut up the middle and gets only about a yard to the 21-yard line as Mike Haynes makes the tackle.
Brought down by number 77 for Attleboro, Mike Lucas. It was 2nd down and 9 for the Whalers.
First half stats for Attleboro. Tim Slowey had 7 runs for 43 yards. Nick McNamee was 5 for 11 for 64 yards. And Mark Owens had 5 rushes for 47 yards.
Pickup of a yard on the play. 2nd and 9 for the Whalers. As Silva is back in the ball game. Baxter split now behind Costco at quarterback. Goes back to pass, out in the flat. Pass is caught, or was it? Yes, it was. It was caught
Victor Cruz
by Victor Cruz at the 27-yard line. Looks like it was a little low, but he made the catch. 6-yard pickup. And it's going to be 3rd down and 3.
He's 3rd down for the Whalers.
Third down and 3 for the Whalers. Ball at the 27-yard line. Silva goes in motion. Costa got the blocking, looks to throw. He does. The ball is way short. I would assume the pass was intended for Victor Cruz. And it's going to be 4th down.
The Attleboro Bombardiers put some good pressure on Tom Costco that time, and he was forced to throw the ball well short of Victor Cruz, the intended receiver.
So it's 4th down. Carl Beckman in to punt. And Tim Slowey back deep for Attleboro.
Number 34, Tim Flowers.
And Beckman, nice high kick. And Slowey lets it bounce, takes a high bounce, and takes a New Bedford bounce inside the 40, 39-yard line. So the Attleboro Bombardiers will take over, 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line.
Nice job once again by Carl Beckman, getting the ball out of New Bedford territory, and let's see if the Whaler defense can stiffen here. Hopefully, they've managed to do a few adjustments here at halftime, and we'll be able to hold the Bombardiers' current set of plays.
Attleboro did a good job, as you said earlier, Roger, of mixing up the plays well. They started out running the ball, and then McNamee started throwing it, and it's keeping the Whalers off guard. 1st and 10, Attleboro. Slowey comes in motion. Handoff goes to the first man through the big fullback. That is Owens, and he has a first down to midfield.
Gain of about 11 for Owens, right up the middle.
As the 8th first down of the ball game for Attleboro, the Whalers have 7 after the first half.
From the 50-yard line.
Ball right at the 50.
Mr. Owens having a very nice night with 58 yards unofficially to this point.
He had a couple of decent runs in the first half. He had one of the big carries in their first touchdown drive of the first half. Bombardiers 1st and 10. Furtado now in motion. Again, it's Owens, and he's got some running room again. Picks up 7, 8 yards to the 42-yard line.
By number 31, Curtis Bolger.
Curtis Bolger making the stop for the Whalers.
8 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 2 for the Bombardiers.
And there's a player down and injured. And let's see, is it still Owens, or did Owens get up? Looks like it is Owens.
Looks like it is Owens.
Again, it looks like a cramp. From our screen here, you can see his right calf looks a little cramped.
The athletic trainers keep him busy tonight, working those out. You know, we're really fortunate in terms of high school sports, in terms of the athletic training that is now available to them.
Yeah.
That you know, just
Wasn't available in your time.
not only in my time, but just, you know, you can go back even, let's say, 10 years ago, and the trainers were generally somebody who had some background in terms of coaching and taping and was able to do some of the basics, but certainly, you know, not having the medical background that so many of these certified trainers now have.
So at this point, let's take a look, if we can, at the New Bedford High schedule of games. Next week, the Whalers are on the road as they will play at Dartmouth High School, and we'll have that game next Saturday at Dartmouth High School, 2 o'clock start. Then they're on the road at St. John's Prep, the Prep last year's Division 1A Super Bowl champs. Not really up to par as they have been in the past. Then they're home, the 6th against Deverian, and the final 2 games at Brockton, and then home here on Thanksgiving against Durfee. It's unbelievable, Roger, that after today, already at the halfway mark of the season.
It's absolutely true. October 16th, the football season is just flying by. And, well, actually, you and I were taking a look at the New Bedford High basketball schedule the other day.
We were the other day, as we'll have a number of Whaler basketball games again this season.
2nd down and 2 for Attleboro.
Yeah, before you know it, it'll be summer again.
Well, maybe between then we can stick in a few baseball games this year.
That would be nice. I wouldn't mind doing that. All right, it's 2nd down and 2 for Attleboro. Slowey is the man in motion. He gets the pitch, cuts it up, gets to near the 40, and it's going to be short of a first down by about a yard after only a 1-yard pickup.
Nice job by the Whalers
3rd down and 1.
for slowing Mr. Slowey down and then abruptly ending his run.
So it's 3rd and 1, and the Whalers would like to make the stop here. Clock is running, 7:45 to go in the 3rd quarter. Attleboro leading 14-6 in this non-conference matchup for both clubs. Backs are split, and McNamee right up the middle on the quarterback keeper, and he gets the first down.
Good for about a 3-yard gain. Mr. McNamee again showing man-many talent.
Gets to the 38, 3-yard pickup. As Nick McNamee has a touchdown pass through the air, and he also, on defense, made an interception in the first half.
Showing no effects of that cramp he experienced
That's
a
right.
little while back in the game.
1st and 10. Seth Lopes in motion. Man goes to Furtado, and Furtado, who is the fullback in this setup with Owens on the bench, picks up a couple yards to the 36-yard line, pickup of 2.
Number 71,
Alex Sullivan in on the stop for New Bedford.
Again, Attleboro mixing their plays, using 3 different backs, and continuing to pick up yardage against the Whalers.
pickup of a couple. It's second down and 8 coming up for the Whalers. 6:30 and counting here in the third quarter. Flowing in motion. Inside handoff for Tato. Again, that's been open all night long. And Furtado picks up some big yardage inside the 30, close to a first down.
Down to about the 28-yard line.
They're going to call it third down, so it's going to be short of a first down. Third and a yard.
So gain of 6 there for Dan Furtado. Again, the Attleboro line able to establish these holes and gaining these 5, 6, 7 yards at a time.
And they've really been in no rush getting back to the line of scrimmage. They're eating a lot of the clock. Lopes goes in motion. Inside handoff on the misdirection. It is Slowey. Slowey has a first down and more. Flag on the play. And Slow is finally brought down by about 5 Whalers inside the 15-yard line.
Ball is right about at the 15.
Going to come back, though. It's going to be holding against Attleboro. So a big break for the Whalers.
Big break for the Whalers. Needed something here to put a little bit of a monkey wrench here in Mr. McNamee's arsenal of plays. Attleboro has been amazingly consistent throughout the game in their ability to mix plays and gain yardage. Not in big chunks, but little 5 yards here, 4 yards there. Very, very consistent.
Ball is back to the 34-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 6 from the New Bedford 34-yard line. So the Whalers have a better chance here to stop the first down.
Anybody for the All Sports Athletic Hall of Fame, nomination forms are available in the press box.
Warchel goes in motion, back to the I formation. McNamee's going to throw. He looks, has time, fires it. Man is wide open. It is Warchel. He's going to have a touchdown.
Beautiful pass again from McNamee to Warchel. Probably almost 40 yards again in the air, and McNamee showing us his arm.
34-yard touchdown pass from McNamee to Warchel, and the Whalers right now are down 20-6. And the replay again, pump fake, and this time he lets it go, and no one even close, as Warchel wide open for the touchdown.
New Bedford secondary again, unfortunately letting down, and Mr. McNamee taking advantage.
Attleboro calls a timeout. Maybe they're going to think about going for 2. With 5 minutes even in the third quarter, and Attleboro in control 20-6. And that's going to be a little demoralizing for the Whalers, as they have been unable to get anything done on the ground, as Attleboro doing a good job in neutralizing Clinton Dunstan. And without Clinton in the first 2 games, the Whalers were 0-2. And without him doing much here in this contest, the Whalers right now are trailing.
Again, Clinton only 42 yards in the first half and 1 here in the second half. So 43 yards on 14 carries, well below his average. And again, he has been pretty much the only person to gain yardage for New Bedford on the ground.
And let's see, they're going to go for the extra point. Yeah, the extra point they're going to go for, as Ryan Burlow is in the ball game.
Why not? Really wondering why they took the timeout, because even with kicking it, they're going to, New Bedford to tie is going to have to get at least 1 2-point conversion.
Sure. Well, they were thinking about New Bedford getting 2 2-point conversions. So, anyway, Burlow is in. Butler will hold. High snap, kick down, yep, and good.
Good.
5 minutes even here in our third quarter, and Attleboro now leads 21-6. That last drive ran a total of 8 plays and 61 yards, capped off by a Matt Warchel 34-yard touchdown pass from Nick McNamee, and Burlow's extra point good. And again, as you see, 21-6, the Blue Bombardiers on top.
Certainly, the Blue Bombardiers have, I think, taken the Whalers a little by surprise. Certainly, they've taken me by surprise. I've been very, very impressed with them this evening. I was hoping that last week's game against Dartmouth was a little bit of an aberration, and I really thought the Whalers would give them a very tough game this evening. But Attleboro, at this point, has been quite dominant throughout the three quarters.
And again, Coach Wayne Hamlet knew that coming in, that Attleboro would be tough, and was worried about his team, especially on defense, letting down after playing two solid Division I squads coming in against a Division III club, although they're playing a lot better than a Division III club, obviously. But still, that mentality that, oh, well, it's a Division III team, we should be able to win. And so far, Coach Hamlet's fears are coming true, as Burlow will kick off again.
Whenever we play a Division III team, it's very seldom that it's not a very strong Division III team. Usually the ones that agree to play us are the powerhouses.
Well, you had Whitman Hansen. Silva driven all the way back to his 2-yard line, trying to come back up the middle. Ball is loose. And let's see who got it. If Attleboro comes up with it, that could be a big mess, but the Whalers end up with it again. So they're going to get it. 1st and 10. Ball is going to be marked at the 20-yard line.
A big break there for the Whalers. Certainly losing the ball at this particular time would have been extremely disastrous, trailing 21-6 with 4:48 left in the third quarter.
So the Whalers need some points with 4:48 to go here in the third quarter. Backs are in the I formation. Dunston is the tailback. Play action. Costa rolls. He's plenty of time. And complete to Walsh. Walsh bounces off a tackle and is down near the 50-yard line.
I think that's Tim Walsh's first reception on the night.
Ball is going to be marked at the 49-yard line. 1st and 10. 8th first down for the Whalers in the ball game. As it was a 29-yard completion to Tim Walsh. Cruz to the far side, rather. Silva to the near side. Backs in the I formation. Costa. Dunston gets the call. Has some running room inside the 50 to the 46-yard line. 5-yard pickup.
Clinton again with one of those 5-yard gains.
Taken down by number 56, Jake Peterson.
Tom Costa, unofficially on the night, is 8 for 111 yards.
Ball at the 46-yard line of Attleboro. Whalers would like to punch one in here. Get back in the ball game. They trail 21-6. Time the backs are split. Costa looks to pass on the out. He's got Cruz. Cruz is hit once, twice. He's going to be short of a first down. Ball is going to be marked at the 39, checked at the 44-yard line. After only a 2-yard pickup, that's going to be 3rd down and 3. Cruz was actually close to a first down when he caught the ball and tried to cut back and go up through the middle and was stopped. Jeff Brito was in the ball game for the Whalers. Josh Gomes takes a breather for a second. Backs are split on 3rd and 3.
Big play here for the Whalers.
Brito comes in motion. Pitch goes to Dunston. Gets a block, cuts it outside. He's going to have a first down and more. Inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. Flag's going to be on the play. It's going to be a face mask against the Attleboro Blue Bombardiers. Very easy to see from up here. A clear face mask on the part of Attleboro. A 5-yard face mask. So it'll be a first down plus 5 yards for New Bedford. Ball is going to be on the 34-yard line of Attleboro. Ended up being a 10-yard play in total, but a 5-yard pickup and a 5-yard penalty.
Nice run that time by Clinton. He was able to break open and gain the necessary yardage.
First and 10 Whalers. Costa.
Costa back to pass.
Here comes the rush. The screen is set up. Dunston, but played well as Dan Furtado snuffs it out for a loss.
By number 33, Dan Furtado.
Loss of about 2 yards, I'd say, on that play. As Clinton just had absolutely nowhere to go.
Second down and 12 for the Whalers from the Attleboro 36-yard line.
Ball on the 36-yard line.
Victor Cruz was open down the left sidelines. Unfortunately, Tom Costa just didn't see him.
Cruz split out to the near side. Silva to the far side. Walsh going in motion. Pitch goes to Dunston. Dunston goes to the far side. He's going to be bumped and knocked out of bounds after a short pickup. Actually stays inbounds. And the ball is going to be at about the 33-yard line. Be about a 4-yard pickup. Third and 8.
Another one of those 5-yard gains for Clinton Dunston.
3rd and 8 coming up for the Whalers. They'd like to keep this drive going with 1:39 to go in the third quarter. Trailing 21-6. Dunston comes in motion. Costa looks to pass, fires it out, and it could be a lateral.
It's a live ball.
And it is a live ball, as it's going to be called a lateral. Victor Cruz dropped the ball, thinking it was a forward pass, but it was called a lateral. Fumble picked up by Furtado, and Attleboro gets the turnover.
It just isn't the Whalers' night. Attleboro continuing to operate exceptionally well on offense and defense, and New Bedford continuing to make all sorts of mistakes.
From this angle, it looked like it could have been close to a forward pass, but it was called a lateral, and Attleboro will get the ball 1st and 10 from their own 49-yard line.
I think that we all, when we saw Victor not go after the ball, assumed but then with no whistle, you realize very quickly that it was a live ball.
Well, the referees were just standing there saying, somebody do something with the ball, and Attleboro picked it up. Inside handoff goes to Furtado, and Furtado gets to New Bedford territory to the 49-yard line. 2-yard pickup. 2nd and 8. Under a minute to go here in the third quarter.
And on the tackle, number 61, Andy Garcia for the Whalers.
.37 seconds to go. Probably the last play of the third quarter.
Clock ticks down to 33, which is about what the weather's supposed to go down to this evening.
Handoff on the misdirection is Slowey. Slowey is tripped up from behind by Josh Gomes after a 2-yard pickup. 3rd and 6 coming up.
One of the things that the Whalers have been able to do pretty well here tonight is to be able to contain Tim Slowey. We've got Tim for 9 rushes for 45 yards. Unfortunately, Mark Owens with seven rushes, 65 yards, has more than made up the difference.
And that is the end of the third quarter here from Walsh Field. The Attleboro Bombardiers scoring in that quarter on a 34-yard touchdown pass from Nick McNamee to Matt Warchel. And they have upped their lead to 21-6. And the Whalers are going to need to have a big stop here and then score twice to get back in this ball game here in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely tall order for the Whalers, who really need to get it together here, make the good stop, and establish a good drive, and again make another stop. With the ground game that's been employed by Attleboro throughout the game, eating up big chunks of time here, very difficult order for the Whalers here in the fourth quarter. You know, Keith, it's not very often that I get to sit here high above courtside, as they say.
High above field side.
But it's seldom that you guys actually let me out of the truck. But in any case,
you said that, not me.
Bernie doesn't have to work, certainly doesn't have to worry about his job. And I gain great admiration for the work that you guys are able to do. It's not easy being able to talk and look and write and without even having time to think about what you're doing. And certainly I've been struggling here throughout this game. And
Well, it helps that you have a big mouth, and Bernie and I definitely have that. Well, I'm speaking for myself anyway.
well, we know certainly. That
Well, what do you mean,
certainly
we know?
knowing you and
Oh,
Bernie,
okay.
we can both put you both in that
concur.
category.
Okay, all right.
And that's a positive thing to say. That's a compliment.
As we begin the fourth quarter, 3rd and 6, McNamee passes. He's got a man complete. It's Warchel, first down. The Whalers 39-yard line.
That's Nick McNamee's second pass of the half. We have him unofficially with 78 yards in the game on 7 throws.
So it's first down and 10 for Attleboro. Ball at the Whalers 39-yard line. They're not in any hurry to get things done. They have a 21-6 lead as we just begin the fourth quarter. Lopes comes in motion and up the middle again. That's been wide open all day. As the fullback up the middle, the ball is loose, but they're going to say he was down, but there's a flag on the play as well. It's going to be a first down for Attleboro, and we'll see what the flag is
Looks
about.
to be about an 11 or 12-yard gain.
Oh, good. The break for the Whalers is an illegal block on the part of Attleboro, so the ball will be marked back after the game. So should actually go back to about the line, the original line of scrimmage. Yep, 39-yard line. So actually with no gain on the play when all was said and done. But it'll still be first down and 10 for Attleboro. Ball is back to 39 where they started. First and 10 for Attleboro.
From the Bedford 39-yard.
Again, Attleboro in no hurry.
Furtado is the lone setback. McNamee looks to pass. Comes the rush. He's going to be hit.
They've got him.
Going to be sacked. Mark LaBeouf grabbing on to McNamee's leg and not letting go.
Tim Walsh finishing him off.
So that's a big play the Whalers get on defense. Ball is going to be marked back to the 48-yard line. A 9-yard loss.
New Bedford making one of those plays that we've been waiting for.
Loss of 9.
Second and 19, a long way to go. Make a stop here and
ball on the 48-yard line of the Whalers. As again, Furtado is the lone setback. We haven't seen Owens in a while after he suffered a cramp. Play action, McNamee looks to
dropping
throw.
way back and is in trouble again.
Throws the ball, and it is in and out of the hands of Lopes, incomplete, as the Whalers rush Alex Sullivan and Mark LaBeouf doing the job there.
Actually, it's very fortunate, Mr. Lopes, that he didn't catch that ball. It would have been thrown for a very large loss. Would have been at least a 10-yard loss.
3rd and 19 coming up for Attleboro.
The Bedford defense is fired up here all of a sudden and performing like the New Bedford defense of old.
McNamee getting the instructions to the rest of his teammates. And the backs are going to be in the I formation. 3rd and long. Warchel goes in motion. McNamee straight back to pass. He's got time, but here comes a rush. Ball is fumbled. Attleboro gets it, but it's going to be a loss all the way back to the 45-yard line of Attleboro.
You could smell the blitz coming, and Mr. McNamee had absolutely no time whatsoever to get rid of the ball that time. Great job by the New Bedford defense.
Dennis Titus came up with the fumble. So it's 4th and long for Attleboro, and they'll be forced to punt. So the Whalers, with 8:25 and counting, will get the ball back. And we're going to need to score.
Ball's back at the 45-yard line on a 4th and 26.
And Attleboro doesn't like what they see, and they call a timeout with 8:15 to go here in the fourth quarter.
New Bedford only had 2 men back, so obviously they were rushing just about everybody.
As we said, this game for the Whalers, they are on the road at Dartmouth next week, and we'll be there as we will take a look at our New Bedford Educational Access television schedule. We will be next week at Dartmouth, and then in 2 weeks we have a week off, and then in 2 weeks following our game next week we'll be here at home as New Bedford will host the Varian. Then we travel to Voc Tech for our final Voc Tech Bear game of the year as the Bears will host Fairhaven. And then it's New Bedford at Brockton, and then here New Bedford against Durfee on Thanksgiving morning.
Certainly, you know, as we go through the schedule, so many of the teams we face year after year, it's refreshing tonight to see a team that we don't see very often, a team that's playing well.
Team not playing well. We talked about how Durfee in the Big Three is undefeated. Brockton is 1-3 after 4 games. High snap, Burlow gets it away, and it's going to take a Attleboro kick and come to rest just inside the 20-yard line.
Speaking of Brockton being 1-3, if it only plays 9 games. So
that's going to hurt them.
They're in danger of putting themselves out of the Super Bowl race here very quickly.
As much as I would like to see New Bedford in the Super Bowl, if Durfee makes it, as you know, I will not cry.
Yeah.
I'll cry for joy maybe, but
well, it's
never happened. I don't know what to do.
I've got a hunch it's all going to come down to Thanksgiving Day. I really do. So
I wouldn't know what to do if that happens, to be honest with you. First and 10 for the Whalers. Ball at their own 20-yard line. They need some points. Play action. Costco looks to throw. He's got plenty of time. Dumps it off, and it's going to be intercepted. Intercepted by Seth Lopes as he overthrew his receiver, and Attleboro gets the ball back.
He had Tim Walsh open deep and just didn't see him. Tried to get the ball to the intermediate receiver, and once again, the Attleboro defense comes up with a big stop.
Third turnover of the ball game for the Whalers. And let's see if Attleboro can capitalize here. If they can, they could pretty much put this game out of reach.
It's been a very difficult day for the New Bedford High offense. The Attleboro defense has come up with play after play, and the Attleboro offense has made it very difficult for the New Bedford defense in terms of just grinding the ball out, eating up large periods of time, keeping the offense off the field.
First and 10, Attleboro. Ball at the 37-yard line, and Slowey gets the call, and he gets inside the 35-yard line.
Taken down by number 57, Mark LaBeouf.
Mark LaBeouf making the stop, and Tim Walsh also there.
Gain of about 3 for Slowey on that play.
Second and 7. The ball will be at the 34-yard line. Coach Wayne Hamlet showing concern as his team trails 21-6, and Attleboro inside Whaler territory looking for more.
Again, Mr. McNamee mixing up his plays very well.
Hands off.
This is Lopes, and Lopes gets inside the 30 to the 27-yard line, close to a first down, about a yard short.
Lopes is one of 4 running backs that Attleboro has used in the game. Mark Owens has, and Slowey have been the workhorses, but we've also had Lopes and Dan Furtado in there as well.
Attleboro not close to a first down. They got the first down at the 27-yard line. First and 10. Another first down for Attleboro. That gives them 14 for the ball game. Showing a wishbone formation now. With power eyes. Slowey gets the call, finds a hole, flag on the play. Slowey still on his feet. They still can't knock him down. But his forward progress was stopped, but there's a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Clinton Dunstan holding on for dear life, wasn't Once he got a hold of him slow, he wasn't going to let him go anywhere, but he was having a difficult time bringing him down.
Attleboro called for holding. So it'll be second down and 20 for the Blue Bombardiers.
The ball will be dropped all the way back to the New Bedford 37-yard line. That'll bring up a first and 20.
Check that, first and 20, I'm sorry, as they get the first down over. Ball at the 37-yard line of the Whalers. Clock is running. Definitely not an ally for the Whalers. 6:05 to go in the ball game.
Again, Attleboro's done a magnificent job of using the clock this evening and preventing the Whaler offense from being able to get back on the field.
McNamee pitches it back to Lopes. Lopes has some blocking, cuts it back inside, picks up about 5 yards to the 32-yard line. John Costa in on the stop for the Whalers.
Second down and 14 for Attleboro from the New Bedford 32.
Second and 15 coming up. Ball on the 32-yard line.
Seth Lopes doing a nice job here, taking over the majority of the carries here late in the fourth quarter.
It'll be second and 15. Clock is running, 5:20 to go. Again, Attleboro in no rush. This is a veteran team. A lot of these players played a year ago, and it really shows as they've been able to mesh well tonight. Pitch goes back slow. He looks like he's going to throw. He does.
Got a man open.
For the end zone, Warchel again, and another touchdown. What a play by the Bombardiers.
They haven't done much wrong this evening, I'll tell you. Including a flea flicker here with 5:01 to go in the fourth quarter, which kind of beginning to be one of those last nails in the coffin, as they say. 27-6 with 5:01.
That is the third touchdown of the ball game for Matt Warchel. Touchdown catches of 10 yards, 34 yards, and now 32 yards. And the Attleboro Blue Bombardiers now lead 27-6 with Burlow in for the extra point. Snap is down, kick is up right through the middle, without a doubt. 5:01 to go in the ball game, and the Attleboro Blue Bombardiers well on their way for the upset as they lead the Whalers 28-6.
We've got Nick McNamee with about 100. He can see the play.
And was coverage down there, but Brito just fell on the play, and Warchel got it for the touchdown.
Was at the goal line, basically just had to take one step over. McNamee, as I said, with about 121 yards in the game, has done it all.
So Warchel, 3 touchdown catches tonight. 2 from McNamee. That one was on a halfback option from Slowey and threw the ball down the field. The other touchdown was on a run by Slowey, and that's Attleboro scores. The Whalers only been able to score once. That was earlier in the first half, and they've been pretty much bottlenecked on offense, but also, Roger, 3 turnovers didn't help them either.
You know, as Bernie would say, if I was a little more fasty, I would have realized that it was Slowey and not McNamee that made that particular pass.
Well, it happened. Burlow will kick off for Attleboro. He's got a beautiful foot. Kicks it deep again. 4-yard line. Silva gets it. Comes up to the 20. Cuts it back inside. Near the 30. And the Whalers are going to start from their 29-yard line.
By number 67 for Attleboro, Felix Torado. This is first down and 10 for New Bedford from their own 28-yard line.
So the Whalers need 3 touchdowns. They only have 4 minutes and 48 seconds left to try to do it. And at the far end of the field, some of the fair weather Whaler fans making their way toward the exit.
You know, we've been very, very fortunate here over the last several years. There have not been too many times that we've taken a beating like this at home.
Dunstan gets the call, gets up the middle, gets to the 30, maybe 31, 2-yard pickup.
2 yards. Taken down by number 56, Jake Peterson for Attleboro.
Jake Peterson making the stop. He's made a lot of stops tonight for Attleboro. 4.5 minutes left.
we've got Clinton Dunson with unofficially 60 yards here in the game. Certainly well below his average, and a key to this large Attleboro lead.
In the ball game for the Whalers as a wide receiver is John Leak to the near side. Different wide receiver as well as Brito's in the ball game. Costa's going to keep it himself. He is hammered as he gets close to a first down. Also in the ball game is Dennis Sykes for the Whalers, and it is a first down as Costa gets the first down. And a collective sigh from the sideline as you don't like to see your quarterback get hit that way.
Not only that, but there was a gang of tacklers waiting there for him at the 38, 39-yard line. So,
first and 10. Sykes is to the near side. Leak to the far side. Play action. Costa looks to throw.
man open.
Got time. He's going to, again, keep it himself. And again, is tackled high, but clean to the 44-yard line.
Gain of about 6.
44-yard line. Second and 5 for New Bedford from their own 44-yard line.
3:22 to go in the ball game.
And the clock is running.
That it is, and the Whalers trail 28-6. So after a 2-game winning streak for the Whalers, looks like it's all crashing down tonight. Second and 5. Costa throws, and it's going to be underthrown as Leak fell on the play, but the ball was underthrown anyway. 3rd and 5 coming up, 2:55 left in the ball game.
Again, the Attleboro defense was right there. Tom Costa forced a hurry throw with Andy Mooney all over him.
Applications are available in the press box.
Play is whistled in. It'll be 3rd down coming up. And I would think if you're New Bedford, you've got to go for 4th down if there is a 4th down.
No doubt about it.
Costa looks to pass, dumps it up the middle.
Oh!
In and out of his hands. And that's been the story of the Whalers all night.
Uncharacteristically, Tim Walsh not holding on to that pass, which was there. Tom Kosker off balance when he threw the ball. Could have been a New Bedford first down.
So it's 4th down. And John Costa will come in and punt for the Whalers instead of Carl Beckman. Left-footed punter. Nice kick. Slowly takes it and is going to be wrapped up and down at the 27-yard line. So with 2 minutes and 42 seconds left, Attleboro just pretty much needs to wind down the clock. And there's been a late flag as a couple of players mixing it up. And if it's a penalty in which a player has cost them the game, that's not only this game, but also the next one.
Looks like Josh Gomes.
Josh Gomes in there, so we'll have to see what the call is here. And if it is Josh Gomes and he's thrown out of the game, he will not be playing next week. See what the referee has to say here. Personal foul on the Whalers.
We have a personal foul on Attleboro and also a personal foul.
So it's going to be offset. And the Attleboro Bombardiers will get the ball back. So they're going to get it from their own 28-yard line.
First down.
With 2:42 left.
And it happened after the kick, so we don't repeat the play.
So Attleboro, all they really need to do is eat the clock. And if you're New Bedford, you just let the clock pretty much wind down. And then
running around the corner.
Regroup as McNamee gets the call and he is close to a first down. Going to be a little bit short as the ball is going to be up to the 20, check that, 37-yard line.
Second down.
Second and about a yard.
Second down and 1 for Attleboro.
But making sure he stayed in bounds as the clock continues to run.
Well, I think all Attleboro would need here, Roger, is pretty much a first down and then take a few knees, let the clock run down, and
Yep.
They maybe punt the ball away, but they may not even need to do that. As a disappointing performance by the Whalers tonight. Slowey up the middle has the first down. And still on his feet over the 40 to the 42-yard line. Clock is stopped for the move the chain.
Certainly disappointing evening for all of us Whaler fans, but you couldn't help but be impressed by this Attleboro squad. They certainly are going to be a factor to be met with in Division III football this year.
Yeah, their only loss came in the first game of the season in a non-conference matchup, and I haven't seen any of the other teams in the EAC other than Dartmouth, but this Attleboro team definitely head and shoulders probably amongst all the other teams. As Lopes gets the call, again, right up the middle, and I keep saying it, Roger, that play's been there all day. That play's been there all day, and it's going to be in New Bedford territory. Another first down at the Whaler 36-yard line. Clock is running. 1:05 to go. Attleboro only needs to take the knee twice and go away with a big, big victory.
Seth Lope was absolutely great run. Probably had about 13, 14 yards, and in the second effort to grab another 5. Very, very impressive, this Attleboro team here this evening.
Hand off to Adam Dupree. And Dupuis gets a couple of yards. And Attleboro may not need to call another play. Let's see when they whistle in the play. They whistle it in with under 30 seconds left, so they really don't have to call another play. The Attleboro Bombardiers will improve to 4-1, while the Whalers will drop to 2-3. And really, it was the offense tonight, Roger, that really couldn't get anything going. While on the defensive side, again, a couple of lapses, especially as Attleboro ran the ball well.
Absolutely. You know, we couldn't get much of a running game going tonight. The passing game in the first half wasn't bad, but we weren't able to get that going at all in the second half. So it really made for a very long second half and a long night for the Whalers.
I'd like to thank our New Bedford Educational Access staff here tonight. In the truck, Dan Cabral and Bob Parati, and Mr. Parati's students on hand running camera tonight, doing a good job as always. And Roger, thanks for filling in for Bernie.
Thank you.
I think, is Bernie's job safe?
Well, it's safe for next week anyway.
Unless he's away on business as well.
Yep.
Thanks again for filling in. So for all of us here at New Bedford Educational Access Television, final score once again, the Attleboro Blue Bombardiers 28 and the New Bedford High Whalers 6. Thanks for watching and have a good night.